Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're heading back into the courtroom for another look at sovereign citizens and the unusual arguments they bring before judges. This case gives us another example of how those familiar legal theories play out once they collide with actual courtroom procedure. So, let's get started.
All right, and court will call People versus Robert Geese, 26T884. And Mr. Geese appears in the courtroom. Mr. Geese, you can just come to the podium, is fine. All right, and so, Mr. Geese, we are set for trial readiness today, and it looks like this case is set for jury trial on July 29th. I also received a motion from you for continuance, and it's my understanding from reading it that you have some Freedom of Information Act requests that are outstanding. Is that correct?
May I speak freely, Your Honor?
Sure. If you could respond to that, that'd be great.
It's important that I put on the record and identify myself with who I am and who I am not. May I do so, please?
Mr. Geese, I'm not going to play these games. So if you want to respond to that, I'd be happy to have you do that. Okay.
So you're denying my right to speak freely?
Mr. Geese, do you want to respond to my question about the motion to continue?
Yes, I do. I would like to address that.
If you would please respond, that would be great.
For the record, I'm not being allowed to read into identifying myself, who I am and who I am not. The reason for the continuance is I have both FOIAs and transcripts requests that, as you know, take quite a bit of time. The transcripts that I requested is everything up to this point. So it's important that I be able to review everything on the record. Also, the continuance with regard to respectfully given prosecution time to answer my motion for discovery, which, if I may ask, wouldn't that, and my affidavit of truth, wouldn't that be considered exculpatory evidence?
We've already addressed that, and we're not going to get into that, okay? They do not have to respond to your affidavit of truth. You get to file whatever you want. They get to file whatever they want, but it's not legally required. So what is it that you are trying to seek with the Freedom of Information Act requests?
Both oaths of office and bondings.
I'm sorry, and what?
Bonds.
What?
Who is bonded and who is not.
Okay, I'm not sure how that has any relevance in your case.
Well, it would have a bearing on not just this case, but what I do with regard to a potential appeal.
Yeah, I'm going to find it's not relevant to this case. Okay. So the transcripts that you're requesting are just for the court's rulings from the prior hearings, because we haven't had any testimony by officers or anything like that.
It's the entire, pardon me, this entire conversation, not just rulings.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to find that that's not required for trial because it is not a transcript of a witness testimony that's needed for impeachment or something like that. That I would certainly consider a continuance for. But there's not anything in the case that would meet those requirements. So
Respectfully, I object.
I understand.
And I don't understand how the court can move forward based on what has been presented and shown without my motion being answered.
The judge rejects the request outright, explaining that the motion is legally baseless and that the defendant already has the discovery needed for the case. The court also points out that the requested transcripts would not provide the missing testimony he claims to need. Because there is no valid legal reason for delaying the proceedings, the continuance is denied. And since he chose to represent himself, the responsibility now falls entirely on him to be prepared for the upcoming trial.
I have already addressed your motion. So are the people ready to proceed to trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then is the defense ready to proceed to trial?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm not going to grant a continuance based on the things that you've already indicated. Is there some other reason why you need a continuance of the jury trial?
I've stated the reason. Jurisdiction has been questioned. That has not been shown that the court has jurisdiction, subject matter, or personal. And there are several points in my motion for discovery that have yet to be answered. So no to your question.
Okay, I have already addressed all of those issues. The court does have jurisdiction in the case. So I'm not going to find that any of those are grounds for a continuance.
Where is it shown on the record in writing that you have jurisdiction?
So I'm not going to fight with you about this, Mr. Geese. I do have jurisdiction. It happened in Weld County. Okay. So right now I show that we're set for jury trial on July 8 o'clock. So the case will be continued to that date and time for jury trial.
I object.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
I would just also like to mention on
Oops, let me have you come back to the podium, Mr. Geese. I'm sorry.
just because I was not able to relay the discovery to you.
Mr. Geese, why don't you face me? Okay. All right. So has he not picked up the discovery?
Not to my knowledge.
Yes, I have.
You have?
You have picked
Okay.
up all the
I didn't. I would also like to point out the fact that I believe, if I'm understanding the dates correctly, that we're way past 21 days with providing that discovery.
The discovery was made available to you at the district attorney's office. I've told you that repeatedly when you've appeared in court. Okay. You have to go over there to pick it up. So is there additional discovery, Ms.
I just
Winterset?
wanted to note that the body camera video, which I would be hopefully bringing to trial, would be from minute 1:58 to minute 4:01 and minute 36:39 to minute 40.
Okay. Those are the timestamps that you're planning to use?
Yes, that's true. And I wasn't sure how to relay that to Mr. Case
Okay.
before now.
All right. Mr.
Let me
Geese.
understand that, please.
Sure. So you received the body cam footage on probably on a CD from their office?
Is it, I have the CDs.
Okay. So one of those is probably a body cam, and she's
What kind
indicating.
of file, if I may ask, is that?
Pardon?
What kind of file is
It's
that?
a
Because all
video
I see is,
Should be an
PDF.
MP3 or MP4, excuse me.
say again?
It should be an MP4. Is that correct in the discovery packets?
Yeah, it's a video file.
So it's an MP4.
I tell you what, why don't I pass the case for just a minute so you can show him the body clips or the body cam clips that you want to use, so that way there's no confusion. How about that?
Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
All right, you can just go ahead and have a seat. They'll do that with you in just a minute.
They briefly step away to review the body cam footage, apparently because the defendant hasn't been able to properly go through the evidence himself. After a short break, they return to the courtroom for a quick follow-up before the case moves forward. I'll let that brief clip play, and then we'll continue.
Your Honor, we are ready to recall this case.
Okay.
Geese,
All
please.
right, so court will recall People versus Robert Geese, 26T884. All right, so were you able to show him the body worn clips that you're planning to use, Ms. Morissette?
Yes, I was. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Geese, do you have any legal objection to those clips?
I don't understand how the court is moving forward regardless of the discovery that's been submitted by prosecution.
Okay, so it sounds like you don't have any objection to those body worn camera clips, so the court will allow those to be used at trial. Okay, are there any other issues we need to address from the people?
No, Your Honor.
Any other issues from the defense?
No more than my previous objections.
And I've already ruled on those. Okay. All right. So the case will be continued then to the jury trial date of July 20th at 8 o'clock. We do have several other cases set for trial that day. We'll see where things work out as to whether we can proceed on the case that day or not.
Will this, Your Honor, will this be a jury, a trial by
Yes.
jury of my peers?
We already had this discussion. Okay. It's set for a jury trial that day. All right. Thank you all very much.
I object. Am I free to go?
Yep. You're free to go. Thank you.
So, he now has a jury trial coming up, and honestly, I hope the proceedings are live streamed because this case could get even more interesting. From what could be heard in the body cam footage, the evidence already sounds significant, and the full trial may reveal a lot more once everything is presented clearly. That brings us to the end of today's courtroom coverage. Across these cases, we've seen the same pattern repeatedly. Defendants relying on sovereign citizen theories, challenging the court's authority, and then becoming frustrated when those arguments don't produce the outcome they expect. One of the defendants also complained about how difficult his situation had become, but much of that frustration followed from decisions he had made himself. If someone is considering going down the same path, the lesson here is simple. These theories don't remove a person from the legal system, and courts can still exercise jurisdiction over them. Instead of spending time fighting the basic authority of the court, the more productive approach is to understand the actual charges, follow the proper legal process, and deal with the case on its merits. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the next courtroom case.